Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Project Hospital, episode 2 with our series here. In the last episode we left off, we had just finished making our little clinic here, and we hadn't done a whole lot to it. We've just got 3 offices, one with our main doctor in it. It's got a little bit more equipment, and then we've got our 2 other offices, and we did get a receptionist, not that we need it, but we're going to go ahead and unpause the game and get started. Also, I noticed that I didn't add enough tile over here, so I probably should do that. Oh, I think this was the tile. I just wanted to have it go to here. There. So we've got like employee bathroom and employee kind of rec room, the vending machine and water. Because I don't want the doctors going out into the waiting room using all of that. I'd rather they go use the employee area. Now, hopefully we'll start getting some people. I don't see anybody coming. Oh, here we go. We've got one guy coming. One girl coming, sorry. So Sarah Moore. And we'll kind of see how this whole system works. So you can actually click on people and it'll bring their character up and you can get a little bit of information about her. So we can see she's retired, she is uninsured, she's a female, age 89. She's full, she's got no need to use the bathroom, she has no discomfort. And her overall satisfaction influenced by needs, people, and environment. She's got moderate satisfaction. And she's got 6 hidden symptoms. So we're going to actually be trying to figure out what her symptoms are. And that is why she's here. So she'll actually come in and take a seat. Eventually one of these doctors will stand up and they will go bring her into the back room here. Could be the head doctor, could be anybody else. Looks like the head doctor's going to do it. He'll come out, essentially call her back, then he'll head back and then she'll get up. And here comes another customer. So kind of fast forward a little bit because this part is somewhat trivial. So she's standing here, and so this is how this basically works. She's having a conversation with him. She's describing her symptoms, and as she's doing that, she's listening. The symptoms are showing up here. So she's saying she's got a fever, a headache, malaise. I'm not a doctor, no. So I would make a terrible doctor. So it's breaking down into possible diagnosis: shingles, common cold, influenza. As she continues to list off symptoms, he will zero in on a diagnosis until it reaches 100%. So finally she said she's got a rash on her torso, and that gave shingles at 100%. So she'll sit down, he'll do an examination real quick. He's just going to make sure it definitely is shingles. Then he'll prescribe her something. So active examinations, physical examinations, available treatments, analgesics, I'm not sure, steroid cream, rest, and active treatments, antivirals and stuff like that, numbing ointments. So he's going to give her all sorts of stuff that's going to help with that. So that's going to help there. And this is happening with all of the patients. You can see that he's got the influenza, sore throat, fatigue, fever. And we've got one person waiting in the waiting room and another person coming there. And where is our other doctor? Is he gone? Right there, he's right there. So he's heading back. So he probably called this one patient up. Okay, so we've got an insurance company. So insurance company can be contracted. Insurance company Cheapo Care can be contracted to send patients. So in the game, there is insurance companies. And what they do is they're essentially kind of like goals you got to achieve to unlock things. And they also send patients to you. And they also give you a certain level of income. So you can see people who are uninsured, it's actually, you're going to get 20% less cash with them if they're uninsured, but they'll send 10 patients and you treat 10 patients per day. And if you do treat 10 patients per day and you reach your bonus objective, you get a $10,000 government grant. As we go down, we get Cheapo Care. We won't take the negative 20% modifier to our cash flow from the customers. They just got cheaper health insurance. And if we treat 15 patients per day, we'll get a stat lab. So they're going to send 15, and we got to be able to treat all 15 per day. If we didn't have enough offices and we couldn't do it, then we wouldn't get the stat lab, and they could potentially shut us down. And then we've got Abdomigut, which will give you plus 20%, but they send 15 patients as well. Treat 1 patient per day at general surgery department, which we don't have a surgery department just yet. Now, the way this kind of all works is obviously you can turn them on at your leisure, so you can turn this on or turn it off, and you can work your way down the list. If you turn these on, though, and they start sending patients, and you can't process all the patients, so you have to treat 15 per day and 10 per day to keep both of these insurances. That's 25 patients per day. If you don't got enough doctors and you don't do your 25 patients per day before closing time, these insurance companies aren't going to like that, and they're going to shut their services off to you. So it's important to do that. Now, we need to actually take cheapo care, because we want to get the stat lab. We could always turn this one off if we wanted to. We wouldn't get the uninsured, but then we don't get the $10,000 government grant if we do 10 patients per day. So we'll keep both of these on. We can't do this one just yet because we have to be able to do, I think this one here, treat 1 patient per day at general surgery department before we can do that. So we'll just have to see where that goes. And we can see our prestige here, which is really good as well. We actually have a decent prestige. If you want to go over, we can see our staff levels, how many patients we've helped, and how many of them we have actually been able to treat, 100% so far. We can go over, we can see our income. Right now we have a loss of $389. Hopefully we'll see that go in the profit. And different departments just showing which ones generate money. This isn't important right now, but it will be later on as the clinic grows. So we still got to be able to treat that. How many was it? We're going to have to treat 25 patients per day. I think we can do that. I mean, that is a lot, though. But we've got three healthcare providers. Another thing you could do as well is you can actually control yourself. So why don't we do that? And we can show how that works. So let's pick a patient here. He's got 9 hidden symptoms, and he's got cheapo care. We can do player controlled. So we can click on active examinations, and we're going to set up an interview with him. So it was already set up, but we're going to click on it again so somebody will come and grab him. And essentially what we're doing here is we're playing the doctor through the doctor. So he's going to get up, he's going to head back there, and then we're going to be able to do things to diagnose the system. So there's actually a whole nother part of the game here outside of just the hospital or clinic building and managing. So we're player controlled, we're currently doing the interview, and all this stuff comes up. So he's currently said he's got a dry cough, so this is what it could be. It could be bronchitis, sinusitis, or the common cold. And okay, that got rid of the common cold, and boom, it's bronchitis, shortness of breath, dry cough, fatigue. We haven't even found the other symptoms. We could do other things. There's other available examinations. So if we want to zero more in, we want to do like a temperament measurement. We could do some chest listening. We could actually click on these. See, so after the interview, we're going to do a chest listening. Even though it's bronchitis 100%, we're still going to listen to the chest just because I just want to show that off. So she'll actually get up, she'll listen to his chest. That might uncover one of these hidden symptoms. And it did actually. Procedures have finished, so he's got chest pain. Alright, that was a hidden symptom. Chest listening, the patient's waiting for you to plan another examination today. So we can actually, it'll jump to that. So we're going to label it as bronchitis. That's our final diagnosis. And then there's the various treatments that we can give him, which I'll go ahead and send him back to the doctor. So that's kind of a whole nother portion of the game there. You can actually jump into the game and play in a hospital. And if you don't want to do the managing portion of the hospital and you just want to do more of like the treating patients, you can do that because the hospital's actually, it'll self-manage itself because it's already generating so much money. You don't got to worry about it. Speaking of money, we do have a net positive now, $104. Definitely not enough money to add on to the hospital, but if we get that $10,000 grant, it'll be enough. So hopefully we can get this number up. How many patients have we actually treated? Let me check. We've treated 6, and it's already noon, which means we're only going to make it to 12. So let's actually let that run out and see what happens. Oh no, it's actually how many patients we've had. So we've treated 6 today already. All right. Yeah, right here. Cured and total patients. And we still got a bunch more here, but they're going through. Let's see. Let's do you again, player controlled. I haven't had anybody. I was hoping we'd see some more patients come in. All right, he's got swallowing pain, oh, strep throat, fever. Okay, hoarseness. Sometimes, oh, there it is right there. Okay, we'll put him back on control by doctors. Now, I imagine over time you could probably get some really, look at it, they're wearing the same shirt. You could probably get some really crazy stuff, right? I would think so. You probably get some crazy diseases that are a lot harder to actually diagnose. I really feel like 3 doctors should see us to our goal. We've already treated 9. I think we're going to make it. We got the objective complete. Treat 10 patients per day. We got a $10,000 government grant. I'll put us at $17,000. We can use it to do a stat lab later on. We're going to want to expand the size of this anyways. But I don't know if we are even generating the money. Oh, we generated almost $1,500. It goes up and down a little bit because of wages. $1,900. We're actually making pretty good money. Objective for insurance company has been completed. Treat 15 patients per day. We've got the stat lab, so we can actually take a look. Now, the objectives will get higher and higher as you look. So, treat 20 patients per day. We get a $20,000 government grant. Build and hire staff for 1 stat lab, and we'll get radiology. And they're still sending our 25 patients per day. We may even get the $20,000 government grant today, which would be amazing. I think we're going to get it. Ooh. Diagnosing a patient proved to be difficult for the doctor's diagnostic skill level. You can help by selecting the next examination. Go to. All right, we're going to take charge of this since she can't seem to diagnose it. So we've got 2 hidden symptoms. She's experiencing elbow pain. See, this is where the fun part comes in, because when you get complicated diagnosis, you get to kind of jump in and play doctor. It's almost like, almost makes me think of, if anybody ever watched the show Dr. House, that was actually, or I think it was just House, right? I watched a couple. I didn't watch the whole season or anything, but one of my roommates a long time ago was really into the show, and occasionally I jump in and watch an episode, and I thought it was actually really good, and I always said I'd sit down and watch the whole thing, but I never sat down and did it. But it kind of makes me think of that, right? Because we've got this, you know, it's sort of complicated. Is it tennis elbow? Is it golfer's elbow? How do we really check? You know, can we really check? A physical examination may help us. Temperature, probably not as much, but we can try it. We got to figure out which, there's 2 hidden symptoms here, and we've got to at least find one of them to get a higher rating. We don't want to diagnose the wrong thing, though, because that could be bad. You could get us bad reviews. Now, if we had the available machinery, like an X-ray or an MRI machine, then we would better have the technology to be able to diagnose this. But since we don't, that's where it gets tricky. So we're going to do a physical examination. Ah, tenderness. But that still keeps it pretty like that. So we're going to do a temperature just to see if it does help. No, nothing. So the only thing we can do is X-ray or MRI. We're going to have to go with tennis elbow. It's the higher chance. And we're going to have to consider getting an x-ray machine at some point, but we're way far away from radiology. We actually need to get... Hey, we've almost treated 20 patients, though. Well, we still need to get the stat lab built, which we'll do after this work day's up. She's our last patient, too. What the heck did she do going in the reception area? It was kind of odd. She was looking at our bulletin board. It's not really for her to look at. Did I not set this up as employee only? I guess technically it's okay. Fair enough. I guess I won't worry about it. So she's being seen by the head doctor. There. So the head doctor might be able to diagnose her because we got the $20,000 government grant. So did she get diagnosed? Man, she just got the head doctor was the one that had to prescribe her the treatment. Okay. She might be back. She may have to come back because we didn't get a full diagnosis on that. So we didn't really fully cure it. But all in all, everybody's doing their last bit of paperwork for the evening. While these doctors work extremely late, as I would kind of imagine most doctors would. We're going to need a janitor. This place is disgusting. Who cleans? We need a janitor. Yeah, we're going to have to hire a janitor. But let's look over here. So we treated 20 patients. We've got almost $40,000. That's amazing. We'll keep these guys turned on. We can't do these yet. We have a surgery department. And how much money? We generated $3,000. That's not a lot, but we'll stay afloat. The grants from the insurance companies really helped out. So let's go ahead and hire a janitor because we're going to need to do that. It doesn't need to be the efficient dexterity. It doesn't really need to be anybody crazy, I feel. Employee has no workspace. Will be idle. Okay, so we'll have to make a janitor's closet. But he's cleaning at least. We could give him a janitor's closet. There's no reason we can't. Is there a prefab for a janitor's closet by any chance? Cleaning closet. Stores all mandatory equipment for janitors. Minimum staff requirements, 1 janitor. I wouldn't mind getting the cleaning closet. Hasn't been unlocked, supposedly. We could make a small cleaning closet. Just put it right here. Where am I going to put the stat lab, though? I figured I would probably grow all this. Why don't we plan on building right now, right? Expanding this a little bit. I figure the stat lab could go back here. And get me my walls. Rid of these walls. So we got a $40,000 grant. I think that's almost as much money as we started with. Okay, prefab. We need a stat lab, which will help us a little bit more. Stat lab. Okay. Is there like any better way to really organize this? Probably not. And 2 is probably fine like that. 2 for the width there. I'm going to do that, bring this up here. It's all kind of a growing game, you know, it's constantly growing is what it's about. We've got the bathroom, employee, rec room. We could do a little janitor's closet. It probably wouldn't help until we have something a little bit more appropriate. But we definitely need like a janitor closet. Is that something I can actually... Cleaning closet, yes. So, bucket cart. Just put some cabinets in here, make it look nice. Nice little kitchen sink. I'm not worried about a lab sink. We could put that. We could do some shelving. That's fine. We don't need that. There, looks nice. Okay, so he now has a room. Do I have to assign him to the room? How's this work? Add employees to favorites. Assign employee to workspace. There we go. Congratulations, Mr. John Johnson. You are officially a janitor for the hospital. Wow, so janitor's actually pretty important. Good thing I got one. Hospital would have been disgusting the next day. It's cool. He actually shows up and he, you know, works at nighttime and cleans the hospital and then he leaves. I like it. And we need to get a lab technician too. That's going to cost us more money. So hopefully we can stay afloat. We only made $3,000. Will the lab technician area bring in more money, or is it just going to hemorrhage money, especially with the janitor? I guess we're going to have to wait and find out in the next episode. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.